Because all of us, we have become obsessed with this materialism. We have become overtaken by this ideology. And the thing is, we are never happy. The more we have, the more we want. You think you will be happy, what? When do you think you will be happy? You have your own flat, you have your own car. No, then you want another flat. I can rent it and I can relax more. And I can have another car for my wife, and then my daughter, she can have a car, and my son, and he can have a car, and my son-in-law, he can have another one. And then, oh, maybe I can get a boat and an aeroplane. And when will it end? It never ends. There is no ending to it. Because the Prophet ﷺ, nothing fills the belly of the son of Adam except the dust of his grave. It's only when you're dead, then your greed will end. It's only when you are dead, your desires will be extinguished. You know the Prophet ﷺ, he said that this dunya, this world and everything in it is cursed. Cursed. There is no blessing. There is no benefit in this world. It is cursed. It is something that will cause you harm and illness and sickness and malcontent and disruption in yourself and unhappiness and unease. The whole dunya is like that. The whole dunya is like that, except the scholar of the religion, the student of knowledge, the dhikr, the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and whatever helps you.
Honest with you guys, I know, alhamdulillah, you guys aren't going to mind my brutal honesty. One of the things that's concerned me as I came here, and every nation has its concerns, every country has its concerns, and we have some universal concerns, but something unique that I found here, that I haven't seen in many other places, and it may be a phenomenon in the entire region, is that you guys are obsessed with over-the-top, super luxurious brands. Over the top. Like I saw a billboard for an Alfa Romeo. Like, or like a Porsche or something, or like a Rolex watch, or like, over the top. Oh my God. Like there's no normal commercials here. Nobody's like giving you a commercial for a toothbrush, or like a sneaker, or like a pair of socks or something. Everybody's like walking through a 7-star hotel and the water fountains on their side, and a hawk flies onto their arm, and and they check their diamond, and my God, and you know what that does to a society? You become obsessed with elite brands. You become obsessed with the brand of watch you're wearing, or the brand of shoes, or maybe even the brand of jilbab. I don't know, the brand of hijab, or when you're shopping in the mall, which is supposed to be like a national sport, I think. Right? So if you're shopping in the mall, make sure you go to the most expensive store and buy like the smallest thing, but get the biggest bag so you look like you're worth something. Like flaunting the bag. Like, I got an Armani bag I'm gonna put in your face before it. You know what this does? This creates an artificial, like, fake society. And it creates these standards that nobody can live up to. Nobody actually looks like those commercials, by the way. That's not real. All that's fake, and people get so deluded by that, and then the people around them get deluded by that. If you're really going to be a sahib in this society, make being normal celebrated. Don't celebrate being over the top and posh and overly, luxurious. Celebrate normalcy. Celebrate being yourself. It's something cool. You don't have to be someone you're not. You don't have to live up to this fake standard of living that really nobody should be. That should be their normal state. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy for you to want that for your life. That's not a goal to live by. And by the way, if that's your goal, like you're always going to be smiling and like checking your brand name watch, and then flipping on the giant screen TV, and overlooking the balcony of this amazing hotel, and jump into the swimming pool and all of that. If that's the life you're dreaming about, you're going to live a miserable life. Maybe you'll get those things, and people who get those things are still miserable. Some of the richest counties in the United States have the highest suicide rates. They have everything. They have everything, and they have the highest suicide rates. How many like platinum musicians, artists from the United States Hollywood actors are dying of drug overdoses. They're so depressed with reality that they want to drug themselves up so they don't have to face reality. And they're killing themselves over it. These are not people you want to be like. These are people you want to feel sorry for. You don't want to be like them, you know? It's unfortunate that an entire generation of Muslims all over the world is like going crazy over pathetic, sad cases like Justin Bieber. I feel sorry for the guy, honestly. Honestly, I feel sorry for him. He's a kid. And they've set him up to, they've put this like crazy world around him, and people are like crying and like they're having spiritual experiences when he walks by and stuff. Like, why? Why? This is part of being responsible citizens to your people. Setting a standard for what you should live up to. When you start not being so deluded by fashion, deluded by brands, and so deluded by the next material thing. Oh, I only have an iPhone 4, I can't be your friend. You have an iPhone 5. You know, like, you can't be like that. Don't stand in line like 300 people outside the Apple store when the iPhone 5S comes out. Don't be one of those people. It's okay, you will be able to, I promise you, oxygen will still be available. You'll still be able to breathe and live your life if you're not the first one to have it. You know? And about the people who buy it, guess what? They don't keep it in their pocket. They put it in front of them and then musalla, Allahu Akbar. Like, so the guy next to him, 5S. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Like, come on. You know?
But all of that has a systemic impact on the condition of people's hearts. Because people have become materialists. People love this life. They would rather bling and look good and shine and be fine. And especially the West. Let's leave Pakistan out of it. The way we live here, the average American needs 59 sweatshop workers to keep your life the way it is. So that you can have your iPad 3B or your Droid. I can have my fresh kicks. Those ain't bowling shoes. Right? We can be fly. I'm going to be fly, but be fly with being responsible. But all of that is a manifestation of a lack of identity and purpose. Deen over desires is not about some kind of, mystical movement. It's about becoming responsible for your life, living responsibly, becoming a fair trade shopper at home, going green as a masjid, putting a green roof on the masjid. In Boston, we're the first masjid that I know of that has what? Solar panels. Thinking responsibly. Tazkiyah to nafs is not, the beauty of spirituality is not that it's internalized and individualized. The beauty of spirituality is that it has a systemic impact across the world. And that's why the Prophet said, even the fish in the sea pray for the scholar. Because the scholar knows how to treat the fish. Which, by the way, our fisheries are depleting as well. Enjoy it while you can.
Spirituality is a major problem in the world today, and especially in a world that's become increasingly materialistic and increasingly filled with distraction that comes with small devices and big ones, where people are genuinely disconnected from each other in even normal conversation. For two people to even genuinely have a conversation with each other is very difficult without having a mobile device interject with a text message or a Facebook update or an email or something. So people don't even make eye contact with each other while they're talking. And in this world of fast messaging and rapid response and 30-second videos and all of that, our attention span has really suffered. As a result of which, it's going to be just as a psychological exercise in this hall. There's quite a few number of people sitting here. Try not touching your phone for the entirety of this talk. See how hard that is. Because it's going to be hard. You won't even realize that you're doing it. You have to meddle with it, turn it on. Did anybody send anything? And turn it back off. And then look at it, how much battery is left. You can't help yourself. And this is what we've become. We have a more intimate relationship with our devices than we have with each other. Now, at least each other, we see each other. The relationship we're supposed to have with Allah, we don't see Allah Azza wa Jalla. So it requires a special amount of attention. It requires an extreme amount of focus compared to what we have now even for each other to really gain some sort of spiritual, experience, right? So spiritual experiences for most people have become uncommon, and they happen rarely. Rarely do they feel a moment where they're really genuinely connected to Allah. And they have that moment and it's very beautiful, but then it goes away and they think about that moment and say, when can I get that back? Maybe that happened to you in the month of Ramadan or something, in the middle of one of the prayers. Maybe that happened to you in the middle of a khutbah, just for a few seconds, and then it disappeared. And I cannot describe that feeling to you, nor can you describe that feeling to me, because that feeling is, in fact, indescribable.
And we became very materialistic, obsessed with buying. Yeah? Yani, today I have to go to this, don't quote me wrong, yani, I have to return something my wife bought for my son, yeah, from one of the stores, and I was passing by Westfield, so they had a branch there, okay, in Westfield, so I returned it there. And if you go inside Westfield, subhanallah, this you become crazy, really. Get this, buy this, discount on this, buy that, this is the latest model, this is the fashion now, this is, and really just very materialistic consumerism culture. And it makes the person really crazy, while he can live without all of these luxuries. Yeah? And at the end of the day, we work hard and the rich people are getting richer because they are sucking our money. Yeah? And this is a reality. So this consumerism has to stop, and we should really think sensibly in the way we spend our money.
Before we can understand really how we understand God, the important thing is how we don't understand God. And that's why he goes into this idea of shirk. But one of the things that he points out before that, and she points out, which is important, is the idea of ilah. In the Quran, ilah, which can have a plural, which is called alihat, gods and gods, as well as like goddesses and things. The word ilah is used sometimes positive and sometimes negative. It basically means the object of devotion or worship. And in the Quran, it says that there are those who take their own desires as gods beside Allah. And in fact, the Prophet ﷺ, in a hadith that Imam Qurtubi relates, says, أَبْغَضُ إِلَهًا يُعْبَدُ فِي الْأَرْضِ الْهَوَىٰ. The thing that Allah hates, the idol that Allah hates more on the earth that is worshipped, is man's own desire. Which is very interesting, because most people don't think of idolatry as being something inside of you. They see it as something outside. You have to have a stone or a wooden form or something, a cow, that you an object of worship. But the Quran says, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ هَوَاهُ. Have you not seen the one, or have not considered the one who has taken as his God his own desires, his own caprice, his own whims? And that's very interesting, because that is the thing that's the most difficult thing to remove. That's the real shirk that becomes difficult. Worshipping our opinions, because we become assiduously devoted to them. We're not willing to give them up for anything. We'll even die for them. That's a god beside Allah. There are many idolaters amongst Muslims from that category. May Allah protect us from that. But many Muslims don't realize that they fall in that category. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Mudmin al-khamr ka'abidi wathan." Somebody who's addicted to drugs is like a worshiper of an idol, because you will do anything for your God. There are people that will kill for drugs, literally kill for drugs. Money. People will kill for money. Their desire. It's just desire. It's not the object of desire. What is forcing somebody to steal? It's inside. It's not outside. The object is called causa occasionalis, if you want a good Latin word, in logic. It is the occasional cause. It's not the deep cause. The deep cause is desire, because another person sees the same object and they don't have any money and they might even want it, but they don't steal it. Why? Because they're in control of their desire. So when the object outside, it's only seen. The delusional state is, oh, well, I had to have it. That's what made me do it. No, it was inside from the beginning. That desire was there, and that was only an exciting cause. It's not the deep cause. The deep cause is tama'. The deep cause is this covetousness for the things of the world.
The big danger to you and to your children is materialism. That is the big danger. Your children and you are becoming obsessed with the car, with the brand name clothes, with the brand name phone, with the gadgets, with the new movie, with the new song download. This is with the hanging out at the mall, with Facebook, and how many likes you got on your comment. You're getting obsessed with these things. Your entire life only means these things, nothing else. And this is a tragedy, because the youth of this ummah are so powerful. Wallahi, they are so powerful. When the young people of this ummah internalize the Quran, they can change the world. Really, the world will be a beautiful place if the young people of this ummah wake up. But the young people of this ummah are being put to sleep by the iPhone 5, by the Samsung Galaxy Touch, by the iPad, by Facebook. And those things can be used for a lot of good. They can be used for a lot of good. But man, those things are poison too, man. They're poison too. The sword is good if you point it at the enemy, but it's pretty bad if you point it at yourself. That's what it is. These tools, they are a force of good. They can be. I am on Facebook, you know how much? Never. My picture's on Facebook. Some things I say are on Facebook. I am actually almost never on Facebook. Never. I'll tweet things once in a while. I'll send a tweet message. I never check what responses there are. People say, brother, you never respond to your Twitter. I say, I'm leaving a sunnah. Don't worry, but say something good that will benefit somebody else, right? And then don't get caught up in online conversations. You have more important conversations. How you have time for all those conversations, man? How you have time to read all the comments under a YouTube video? Where did you find the time? Where did you find the time? I'm shocked. So you and I have to detox. We have to get rid of the gadgets, especially in Ramadan, guys. Get rid of the gadgets. Delete the video games delete the game apps off your phone. Delete them for Ramadan. You say, yeah, at least I can re-download them later. I don't care. But at least in Ramadan. Sisters too. Sister, get off of Facebook right now. I see you. I don't see you, but you just got off of Facebook, and the joke is on you. But anyway, get off of your devices. You have to do this. Materialism is killing us. And I tell you the real anecdote, the real solution to materialism is understanding the Book of Allah. Personally understanding the Book of Allah. The more you start understanding the Book of Allah for yourself, you will no longer be interested in materialism. It will not fulfill you. It will leave you empty. This will start giving you joy that you never felt before. You get to talk to Allah, man. You get to talk to Allah when you recite Quran. What more can you ask for? So this is some practical or some advice I want to give you, or the warning I want to give you guys in particular. And of course, materialism is hitting everywhere. But I notice like the malls and like the glitz, and everybody's like, the youth are like flocking towards these things. I don't get angry at them. I just feel like we haven't given them Quran. We haven't given